there, readers. Welcome to day 1 of our lesson. We'll start out today with talking about our new concept. Then, after that, we'll do some phonemic awareness practice, practice our visual drills, do our auditory drill, and we'll finish up with our blending drill.
Phonics connects sounds and symbols, unlocking code increasingly nimble. Like wings for words, it'll lift you high. With every sound you soar, you fly.
So let's get started with our new concept. Hey there, readers. Do you know what letter this is? Yes, this is the letter I. And is I a consonant or a vowel? I is a vowel. So the word I, or the name I, tells us the long sound of this letter, I, but the short sound is I. And how do we sign the letter I? All right, you're going to take your hand and put your pinky up like that, and then hold your other 3 fingers down with your thumb. And that is how you sign the letter I. So let's sign it and say the short I sound. I. We can hear that short I sound in the beginning of the word inchworm. We can also hear it in the beginning of the word itch, or in the beginning of the word insect. Insect. The letter I can appear in different parts of words. Sometimes we see the I in the middle of a word, such as in the word pit. Pit, or in the middle of the word mid. Mid. The letter I sometimes comes in the beginning of words, such as in the word it, or in the beginning of the word in. Now let's explore how we make that I sound, the short I, with our mouths. So to make the I sound, you open your mouth slightly and you keep your tongue relaxed near the bottom of your mouth. The sound is short and quick, like this. I. It has a bit of a bounce to it. I. Like it almost feels like an excited sound, doesn't it? There's some energy to it. When we say the I sound, our voice is on, which means that we can feel that vibration in our throat. I. All right, do you feel that buzz? Good. That means that your I is working. Now, because I is a vowel sound, we can stretch it, though it's not the most beautiful sound to stretch, is it? It sounds a little bit like you have to make a decision and you're not really sure what to decide. Do you want to eat chocolate chip cookies or do you want to have bananas? I would like to have cookies, please. Okay, so you practice. All right, check out our vowel valley and our sounds that we reviewed so far. So you can see that I is right by that arrow over there, and it's near the top of our vowel valley. Our mouth is not all the way down and open. It's a little bit more shut than we do with the ah sound. All right, so I is almost at the top of our vowel valley. All right, let's make an uppercase and a lowercase I. So to make the uppercase I, we're going to be doing 3 lines. We're going to start at the top blue line here and do a straight line down to the bottom. Then we'll hop back up to the top, do a straight line across, and hop to the bottom and do a straight line across. That's how you make an uppercase I. And to make the lowercase I, you start at the middle, do a straight line down to the bottom, hop to the top, and just do a little dot. And that's how you make the uppercase and the lowercase I. It's time now to head over to see Blenda and Siggy for our phonemic awareness practice.
It's time to blend some phonemes with Blenda, the blender bot. Please blend each sound that I tell you. Then say the words you got. Then say the words you got. It's time to blend some phonemes.
Hey Blenda, how are you? Good to see you. So we're going to start out with these phonemes. Ready? Get your hands all stretched out for some finger tapping, and I will tap, then you follow me. D, I, G, Z. Ready? D, I, G, Z. Digs, digs, like Blenda digs in this garden. Okay, the next one is t, w, I, n. Do it with me. T, w, I, n. Twin, twin. I have a friend who has a twin sister. Do you know any twins? Oh, yeah, I guess you probably do. Okay, the next group of phonemes to make up a word is l, I, s, t. Do it with me. L, I, s, t. List, list. The word is list. Do you have a to-do list for today? Every day, I'm sure. And our last one is s, l, I, p. Do it with me. S, l, I, p. Blend, slip, slip. It's important to wear boots in the garden so that you don't slip. Exactly. All right, thank you so much for your help today, Blenda. Let's go see Siggy.
Hey there, Siggy. How you doing today? You're an expert segmenter and you love to play. Miss Gardner, tell us a word and let's all listen close. Then we'll say each phoneme our practice really shows. Hey!
Hi, Siggy. We were just over with Blenda doing some blending and we are ready to segment with you. So our first word is the word if. If. Let's see if we can stretch these sounds out. If. I hear two sounds. What are those sounds? If. There are two phonemes in the word if. Exactly. All right, the next word we're going to do is the word fit. 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 Let's see. It. It. We get three phonemes in the word fit. Fit. It. All right, for our next one, oh, my noodles are down here. Okay, for our next one, let's do the word sits. Sits. She sits in the garden. Sits. It. It. I hear four phonemes in sits. It. Do you hear those? Exactly. Let's do one more. Okay, our last one is the word skin. Skin. Make sure you wear sunscreen to protect your skin when you're working outside, especially. All right, skin. Skin. In. In. Skin. I heard four. Let's tap them. In. Skin. Yep, you heard all four phonemes too? Awesome. Great work. Give yourself a high five for an awesome day of segmenting in the garden with Siggy. Let's go do some visual drill practice.
All right, readers, now it's time for our visual drill practice. When you see the letter pop up, I want you to tell me what sound that letter spells. For example, if you see the letter B pop up, you would say B spells B. Are you ready? Let's fly.
This is the letter A. And what does the letter A spell? The letter A spells A. The letter A spells A, like in the beginning of the word astronaut. This is the letter M. M. And what does the letter M spell? The letter M spells M. The letter M spells M, like in the beginning of the word moon. This is the letter S. And what does the letter S spell? The letter S spells S. The letter S spells S, like in the beginning of the word snake. This is also the letter S. And the letter S also spells, the letter S also spells Z. The letter S also spells Z, like in the word music. Music. This is the letter T. does the letter T spell? The letter T spells T. The letter T spells T, like in the beginning of the word turtle. This is the letter P. And what does the letter P spell? The letter P spells P. The letter P spells like in the beginning of the word penguin. This is the letter F. And what does the letter F spell? The letter F spells F. The letter F spells F, like in the beginning of the word feather. Feather. This is the letter N. And what does the letter N spell? The letter N spells N. The letter N spells N, like in the beginning of the word nest. This is the letter D. What does the letter D spell? The letter D spells D. The letter D spells D, like in the beginning of the word duck. This is the letter C. And what does the letter C spell? The letter C spells K. The letter C spells K, like in the beginning of the word cat. This is the letter G. And what does the letter G spell? The letter G spells G. The letter G spells G, like in the beginning of the word goat. This is the letter B. And what does the letter B spell? The letter B spells B. The letter B spells B, like in the beginning of the word ball. This is the letter K. And what does the letter K spell? The letter K spells K. The letter K spells K, like in the beginning of the word key. This is the letter H. And what does the letter H spell? The letter H spells H. The letter H spells H, like in the beginning of the word hat. This is the letter R. And what does the letter R spell? The letter R spells The letter R spells like in the beginning of the word rainbow. This is the letter L. And what does the letter L spell? The letter L spells ul. The letter L spells ul, like in the beginning of the word lion. This is the letter W. And what does the letter W spell? The letter W spells w. The letter W spells w, like in the beginning of the word water. This is the letter J. And what does the letter J spell? The letter J spells J. The letter J spells J, like in the beginning of the word jellyfish. This is the letter Y. What does the letter Y spell? The letter Y spells y, like in the beginning of the word yarn. This is the letter X. What does the letter X spell? The letter X spells x, x. The letter X spells x, like in the word fox. These are the letters Q and U. What do the letters Q and U spell when they're together? Qu, qu. The letters Q and U spell qu, like in the word queen. This is the letter V. What does the letter V spell? V spells V. V spells V, like in the word violin. This is the letter Z. What does Z spell? Z spells Z. Z spells Z, like in the word zebra. It's time now for our auditory drill.
All right, readers, now it's time for our auditory drill practice. Make sure you have something to write with and that your writing surface is all set up. Mrs. Gardner is going to say a sound. Listen super carefully, and then I'd like you to write the letter that spells that sound. For example, if Mrs. Gardner says, then you're going to write the letter M. Got it? Are you ready? Let's get started.
Please write the letter that makes the sound ah. Please write the letter that makes the sound ah. To write the letter A, you're going to start at the top and do a slanted line all the way down to the bottom. Then hop back up to the top, do another slanted line, this time in the opposite direction, again towards the bottom. Then you're going to hop back to the middle area and do a horizontal line connecting those two lines. Let's do it together in the air. We're going to hop to the top, do a slanted line down to the bottom. Hop back up to the top, do a slanted line down to the bottom. Hop towards the middle and do a horizontal line connecting those two lines. And that is how you write and trace the letter A. Please write the letter that makes the sound K. Please write the letter that makes the sound K. Let's write the letter C. We're going to start almost at the top line and do a curve from that top spot, almost at that top spot, all the way around towards the bottom and curving up just a little bit. All right, now let's trace it together in the air. Starting almost at the top, we're going to curve around, down towards the middle, towards the bottom, curving back up and stopping. So we're almost making a circle, but not quite. And that is how you write and trace the letter C. Please write the letter that makes the sound K. Please write the letter that makes the sound K. To write the letter K, you're going to hop to the top line and do a vertical line straight down to the bottom. Then you're going to hop back up to the top and do a slanted line to the middle line, connecting with that first line. Then from that middle line, you're going to do another slanted line, but this one down to the bottom. Now let's trace it in the air together. We're going to hop to the top, do a straight line down to the bottom, hop back up to the top, do a slanted line to the middle, and then hop from the middle down to the bottom. That is how you write the letter K. Please write the letter that makes the sound R. Please write the letter that makes the sound R. To write the letter R, you're going to start at the top line and do a vertical line down to the bottom. Then you're going to hop back up to the top and do a curve all the way back across the middle. Then when you're at that middle, you're going to do a slanted line down to the bottom. Now let's trace it in the air together. We're going to do a straight line from the top all the way down to the bottom. When we're at the bottom, we're hopping back up to the top and doing a curve to the middle. Once we're at that middle, we will do a slanted line down to the bottom. And that is how we write the letter R. Please write the letter that makes the sound L. Please write the letter that makes the sound L. To write the letter L, you're going to hop up to the top line and do a vertical line straight down to the bottom. When you're at the bottom, you're going to do another line, this time a horizontal line across the bottom. That is how you write the letter L. Let's trace it together. We're going to hop to the top, do a straight line down to the bottom, and do a horizontal line across the bottom. And that's how we write and trace the letter L. Please write the letter that makes the sound W. Please write the letter that makes the sound W. This is how you write the letter W. You're going to start at the top line and do a slanted line down to the bottom. Then from the bottom, you're going to do a slanted line back up to the top. When you're at the top, you're going to do a slanted line back down to the bottom. And when you're at the bottom, you'll do a slanted line back up to the top. Let's trace the letter W in the air together. So starting at the top, we're going to do a slanted line down to the bottom. From the bottom, we'll do a slanted line back up to the top. From the top, we'll do the slanted line back down to the bottom. And from the bottom, we'll do a slanted line back up to the top. And that is how you do the very fun letter W. Please write the letter that makes the sound J. Please write the letter that makes the sound J. To write the letter J, you're going to go to the top line and do a candy cane shape. So you're going to go from the top straight down to the bottom and then curve back up just a bit. Then you're going to hop back up to that top line and do a straight line across that top line. So you end up with a straight horizontal line, excuse me. Let's trace that one together in the air. Let's do a J. So we're going to hop to the top, do a candy cane shape down and curving back up. Then we're going to hop back up to the top and do a horizontal line across that straight line that we just drew. And that is how you write and trace the letter J. Please write the letter that makes the sound Y. Please write the letter that makes the sound Y. To write the letter Y, you're going to start at the top line and do a slanted line down to the middle. Then you're going to hop back up to the top line and do another slanted line down to the middle. When you're at that middle spot, you're going to do a straight line down to the bottom, a straight vertical line. Now let's trace the letter Y in the air together. Hopping to the top, we're going to do a slanted line to the middle. hop back up to the top, do a slanted line to the middle, and then do a vertical line from the middle to the bottom. That's how you write and trace the letter Y. Please write the letter that makes the sound X. Please write the letter that makes the sound X. This is how you write the letter X. You start at the top line and you do a slanted line down to the bottom. Then you hop back up to the top and do a slanted line the other way back down to the bottom. To trace the letter X, we're going to do the same thing in the air together. Let's hop to the top, do a slanted line down to the bottom, hop back up to the top, slanted line down to the bottom. That is how you write and trace the letter X. Please write the letter that makes the sound Q. To make the letter Q, you are going to start at the very top and do a circle all the way down to the bottom and coming back up to the top. And then you are going to hop to the middle and do a slanted line from the middle down to the bottom. That's how you write the letter Q. Now let's trace the letter Q in the air together. We're going to start at the top, do a curve down to the bottom, then do a curve back up to the top, making a circle. We're going to jump down to the middle and do a slanted line from the middle down to the bottom. That's how we write the letter Q. Please write the letter that makes the sound V. Please write the letter that makes the sound V. This is how you write the letter V. You start at the top, do a slanted line down to the bottom. Then from that bottom, you do a slanted line back up to the top. Now let's trace that letter in the air. Let's do a V together. Starting at the top, do a slanted line down to the bottom. Stopping at the bottom, do a slanted line back up to the top. That's how you write the letter V. Please write the letter that makes the sound Z. Write the letter that makes the sound Z. This is how you write the letter Z. You do one horizontal line across the top of your page. Then you do a slanted line from the top down to the bottom line. And then you do a third line, which is another horizontal line across at the bottom. All right, now let's trace that letter in the air together. We're going to do a line across, slanted line down to the bottom, and another line across. That's how you write the letter Z. Let's finish up with our blending drill. Wow, we are working with a lot of initial letters in our blending board here. We have C, F, M, N, R, S, and then the blend SL and the blend SN. So the blend SL says sl, sl, and sn. And then we have our medial A all by its lonesome, just one medial option. And then for our finals, we have M, N, P, T, and X. And then we have an add-on letter of S. So let's start out by making the word snap. I'm going to use my sn right off the bat there. Sn. I have only one medial option, and then p, snap, snap. So how would I change snap to nap? I'll take off my sn and replace it with that, right? So we'll bring up our N. We have nap, nap. Now what happens if I put an S on the end? I get naps, naps. Oh, like that person took multiple naps throughout the day. Or maybe I should say that cat, since cats love to take naps. All right, I'm going to take off my N and put a C in the beginning there. What do I get? I get caps, caps. And if I take off that P and put a T, gosh, I have so many letters here. It's hard to stay organized. I have cats, cats. Let's take off the C and put an M in the beginning. We get the word mats, mats. How do I change mats to rats? I'll take off the and I'll use a rats, rats. So if I take off the S, now what happens? I get rat, rat, just one rat. Now I'd like to change rat to sat. So I'll take off that R and bring up my sat, sat. Now if I take off the sat, this, and put an F there, what do I get? I get at, fat. Now if I take off that F, what am I left with? At, at. Let's take off the T and put an X. We now have ax, ax. And if I bring my F back up, I get ax, fax, like a fax machine. That is an old-fashioned way of sending an email, really. We're going to take off that X and put an M there. What do I get? I get fam. Fam. Some people will say that as like a nickname for their family. Like, ah, here's my fam. And if I take off that F, I get am. I am Mrs. Gardner. And if I take off that M and put an N there, I get an. I am an Alaskan. I live in Alaska. And if I take off that N, I get a. And if I take off that A, well, then I'm all done for the day.
With every sound you soar, you fly.